What up, everyone? This is the Comic Outlaw, and I'm bringing to you something new, something different. It is called Salvation Run. Yes, this is a supervillain comic, a straight supervillain comic, where the supervillains were rounded up and dropped off on a planet far, far away from our universe. And it was just insidious what happened to these guys as they struggled to survive. And you know your boy is going to make it and tell you which ones stayed alive. But anyways, this comes at a crucial time in the universe where basically it's before New 52 is during countdown. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Black Adam had gone crazy, murdered an entire nation. There was a war of the Amazons that was actually done by Granny Goodness, pretending to be Hippolyta's mother. Like basically all kinds of different things were happening. Bart Allen, that was the current Flash because the other Flash had disappeared, was murdered by the Rogues. Basically just all kinds of the worst case scenario was happening. So they decided to use their Suicide Squads to start out, kind of just rounding up the villains and basically just getting rid of them. And it starts off with the Flash Rogues, one of my favorite groups. I love the Flash Rogues. I think they're one of the most cohesive villain groups and probably the best of all time. In a lot of ways, the Gotham villains sort of work together, but these guys are a team, period. They're some of the first people to occupy this new land that they've been stranded on. And as they go wandering around, they get jumped by another group of creatures. And this is something that happens every day here. This is like a battle planet, a war planet. Everything on this planet is set to kill you, set to destroy you. And our rogues are struggling to survive. On a planet they have no idea where they are, where they're going, or even how to find a safe place, which is a rumor that was told to them. And the boys just do their things. I mean, this is what makes them such a good team. They've been working together for so long. They have a lot of different strategies. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they know how to back each other up. This is a very interesting team. It's a very rare thing amongst the villains, especially in DC Comics, to work this good together. But even though they're a great team, I mean, getting attacked time after time after time wears on you. It wears on the flesh. It tears. It breaks. But these guys end up getting everything cleared due to weather wizards final little gust there, blowing everything away. And they have a temporary moment of peace as they try to decide what they're going to do next, if they can do anything else short of surviving. Now, like I said, flesh is wearing thin. Everyone's getting tired. Everyone's starting to get a little bone worry, and really not knowing when the kind of next attack's going to come. It's a kind of a constant state of paranoia. But they pick each other up. They keep each other going, and they start bandaging each other up. It's what they do. They're a team. They've been a team in Central City. They're a team now. And as I said, they sit around the campfire trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do next. And there's an idea of a safe zone. But nothing is safe on this planet. And they seem to capture one of these little creatures that almost looks very Ewok-like or Avatar-ish, except brown. And they decide they're going to make a meal out of it. But one of them changes their mind, has a plan for it. Abracadabra, I do believe. And he begins talking to it. And they told him about a safe zone. And I wouldn't buy it either. I mean, a man named Abracadabra told me for some little Ewok-looking thing that I was going to eat, says there's a safe zone. I mean, that thing would be saying anything to save itself. But anyways, there's a boom. And we all know what that means. Someone just got boomed onto this planet. For those of you who don't know, a boom tube is the way they teleport. It makes a loud boom, thus the name, boom tube. So the guys are having a little debate whether or not to check it out, see if they have more allies, seeing what's going on. But it could just be an obvious trap. And I love this about the Rogues. They're sort of a democracy, but in the end, Cold calls the shots. He's sort of like the elected leader. We have a flashback here on what exactly happened, how they got arrested. Basically the yada yada speech. We're tired of you. You're leaving. We're going to send you to another planet. You have no rights. And it's very interesting. They did this without due process, and later on, this comes to bite them in the ass. But they decided to send them. At least they sent them with their weapons. I mean, the villains always wanted a world to conquer in a funny sort of way. The government gave it to them, and thus they're stuck here. But like I said, there's no rest in this war world where everything in this world wants to kill you, and something comes creeping out of the shadows and makes a grab at Captain Cold, and everyone springs into action as these new creatures start trying to kill the rogues, and the rogues basically do their thing. I mean, they've been working together so long. They know what to do, they know how to take care of each other, and they know all the angles. Keep in mind, I keep saying this because this is going to come into play a lot later in the comics, as you see how other villains come in, and our good old pal Mr. J just landed. And I love his landing. He's wondering what the hell is going on. He's not dressed for jungle attire. And Joker's crazy. He's had strange things happen to him before, so he's really kind of not surprised. And that's what you gotta love about the Joker. He's real nonchalant. And of course, there's a group of villains joining him, a bunch of B-listers, C-listers, and basic standard villains. I mean, everyone's there. Killer Frost, Clayface, Mr. Freeze, you know, this little kid that idolizes the Joker. Of course, Captain Cold and the Rogue show up, and they kind of explain what's going on, how things work here. But the villains, of course, are fighting because they're villains, and they're not really taking anything seriously. Especially the Joker. He's just wondering what the hell I gotta do to get back to Gotham and make Batman's life a living hell and make things right. But Cold, as always, tries to take leadership, but Joker just basically calls them a bunch of C-listers. And why should we listen to them? But, of course, one of the villains get trapped, gets sucked into the hole, and basically just gets pulled in by whatever wants to eat it. And I'm not even going to dignify the fans with his name. If you want to look it up, I'm just going to say the C-lister. No, more like D-lister. He gets dragged in the hole, and of course the rogues decide to sacrifice him since he's basically all metal. They fire a lightning bolt down just to kind of kill whatever's there. And like, this is the way the rogues work. They're ruthless but coordinated, and you gotta love that about a team. Of course, Heatwave dives in, throws a little fire there, burning whatever's around. And the other villain's conspicuous by his absence. Oh well, he got sucked in. That's the way it works. If you're not careful in this world, everything's gonna kill you. But, as I said, they do not take the Flash Rogues as serious. And as the teams begin to form and everyone begins to talk, figuring out exactly what they're going to do, someone is watching them from the shadows. Who is this person? Who is this evil upon evil that's viewing evil in a voyeuristic sort of way? Well, we might find out in issue 2, because we're sure in the hell not going to find out today. And this is the Comic Outlaw. And as always, I will catch you on the flip side. Laters.